Hello and welcome to EEA 205, Death and Dying. My name is Sarah Flanagan and I'll be your professor for this course. In this short lecture, I'm going to introduce you to the course and review the class calendar and syllabus. I'll also try to provide a general overview of what we'll be learning this semester and the path we'll take to get there. So, as we get started, are you wondering what you got yourself into? What this will be like? We'll have an opportunity to jump right in this first week of class with reading and lecture, but before we do, let's take a few minutes to learn more about this course. Here's a little bit about myself. My background is in social work, and I've worked in a variety of social service, community, and healthcare areas with clients of all ages. My areas of expertise are a perfect fit for this class, as my passions are working with patients and families in long-term care, hospice, and grief support settings. I earned my Bachelor of Social Work from Creighton University, master's degrees in social work and public administration, as well as a gerontology certificate from the University of Nebraska in Omaha. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a licensed mental health practitioner. I've been at Clarkson College since 2010 in both teaching and administrative roles. I've taught a variety of courses in addition to this one, including healthcare ethics, family dynamics, crisis intervention, a couple of different gerontology courses that relate to caring for the aging population, as well as fieldwork and capstone. A little bit about my family. I'm married. My husband, Jesse, is an elementary school teacher, and we have two teenage daughters named Rory and Devin. What I love most about this class is that everyone has a chance to contribute. You'll be able to share your own experiences, ask questions, and provide insight with others to help make this a real team or group approach to learning. This leads me into my hopes for this class. First and foremost, I want to mention that we're all going to be at different places in our experiences with, understanding of, and comfort levels as it relates to death and dying. Some of you may have experienced a significant death already in your life, maybe even multiple. Others may not yet have had a type of experience with loss, and that's fine too. We're all on our own journey, and this class will provide us with the opportunity to really normalize these different types of experiences. Death and the dying experience are different for each person and each family, so it's not uncommon to have different emotions and experiences, be they positive, negative, or a mixture of both. Death brings up many different types of emotional, spiritual, physical, and even psychological responses. And we'll have the chance in this class to learn new things, to share ideas, and to encourage one another to grow and develop both personally and professionally. We'll be having frequent discussions in class, as this will really help us build that community feel and be able to learn from and support one another. Situations near the end of life can be beautiful and powerful, and they can also sometimes be somewhat fearful or uncertain. For this reason, I'm hoping we can develop some responses, some things we can do to cope and support not just ourselves, but our patients and their families as well. Some things that we can say or do to help those in awkward or uncertain moments. We'll have some really important hands-on opportunities to experience and explore some critical aspects to end-of-life planning too, and I'll talk more about that soon. Finally, I'm hoping that through this class you become more aware of some of the amazing resources available in your own community that can help provide education and support for patients and families who are grieving an impending death or coping with the recent loss of a friend or family member. Our physical care only goes so far, so it's important that we provide our patients' families with the information and tools they need to grieve and cope in a healthy way. What about you? What other hopes do you have for this class? What are you wanting to learn this semester? Think about it, and we'll have a chance to share some ideas in this week's first Let's Talk About It discussion. As I created this class, I kept thinking about not only what I hope for you to learn and be able to do, but also about the expectations for myself, my students, and for our class as a whole. For me as professor, you can expect me to prepare quality lectures each week. I want everything to be interesting and, most importantly, meaningful. Things that you can put to good use in your future careers in healthcare. I'll try to always provide specific directions on assignments so that you know exactly what to expect. I'll make sure we cover a wide variety of topics and information that you'll be able to use in different types of settings. I'll also spend a lot of time providing you with personalized and detailed feedback on each of your assignments. In turn, I expect each of you to be prepared as well. This means that you'll need to first read and then watch the lectures. The lectures are meant to expand on various topics, so you'll definitely need to watch them to gain all the information. There's really not too much reading in this class, so hopefully you'll find the lectures to be a meaningful supplement to what the books don't cover in as much depth. You'll be taking and submitting lecture notes most weeks, so you'll want to focus on these as a primary source of new information. All assignments need to be submitted on time. This includes those lecture notes, our Let's Talk About It discussions, the advanced directives and life planning portfolio projects, as well as 2 reflections, and the different exploration activities, such as the tour. Part of developing as a professional involves producing high-quality work within a specified time frame, so we're going to be practicing that as well in this class. Similarly, I expect all of your work to be completed by you, independent of anyone else. This includes not using any generative artificial intelligence such as ChatGPT or other similar apps. Honesty and integrity are critical to success in life, and as such, I expect my students to uphold these values. Besides, in a class on death and dying, I honestly don't care what some computer program says about our topic. Everything I'll be asking you to do relates to what you think, how it makes you feel, what it makes you consider as you're developing personally and professionally. I'm far more concerned about hearing your own ideas on this than anything being perfect grammatically. So please don't use Grammarly or any of those apps either. If you do use AI, you will receive 0 points for that assignment. It may also constitute an academic integrity violation. So please, trust me, you will actually save time and enjoy the course a lot more if you just do your own work. I promise. This is not a hard class. It just requires that you be engaged and participate for your own growth and development. Plus, it would be pretty bad to cheat and use AI in an ethics course of all things. So as we work on these various readings, lectures, and assignments, I truly hope you'll find them all to be meaningful and valuable, both now and certainly in your future as you expand your healthcare career. I'll try to make things as interactive as possible, and most importantly, relevant to the real world. Finally, as a class, I expect that you will all interact with one another. This is an online class, so it takes a bit more effort at the very beginning to create that classroom community feel. I'll look forward to seeing what you have to share with one another, whether it be your ideas and experiences, questions or concerns, and so forth. As with any class, the more you put into it, the more fun it is, and the more you learn. Given the nature and topic of this course, we need to be cognizant of the need to respect others and to maintain confidentiality. People will be sharing things, experiences, feelings, hopes and fears, and these can be very personal in nature. We want to be sure to treat others with the respect and dignity that we would likewise expect from them. As such, I've listed some guiding principles to go over so we're all on the same page. First, we need to respect everyone at all times. We're going to have different opinions and different experiences, and that's what makes this class such a rich learning environment. We don't have to agree, but we do have to respect people's rights to feel and think the way they do. Second, what's shared in class stays in class. In other words, I and the other students are expecting that each of you will keep things private. If someone shares something in a discussion or email, you need to keep that within the confines of our class and not go tell other people about it. Third, as we're listening to and learning from one another, we need to be non-judgmental in our questions and our responses. There's no one perfect or right way to do things or to think about these topics, and none of us are any better or worse than another. Fourth, even though you may have similar experiences as someone else in class, try not to say the words, "I know how you feel." You don't. None of us do. I mean, we each have our own journey through death and grief experiences. Instead, try to say something like, "I imagine that would be very, sad or very difficult," or "help me better understand," instead of making the assumption that you're going to feel and react the exact same way as someone else. We'll talk more about what to say or not to say in coming weeks, but it's important for us to have some ground rules from the beginning so everyone feels safe participating and sharing. Fifth, you can always pass if you're not comfortable sharing something, or you can share as much as you feel comfortable. Now, this does not get you out of completing assignments, but what it does mean is that if you're put on the spot in a discussion, you don't have to answer someone's question if it feels too personal or makes you uncomfortable. I do want you to practice setting boundaries though. So learning how to establish those boundaries and nicely say, "Thanks for asking, but I don't feel comfortable answering that," is an important part of working as a healthcare professional. So again, we can practice that here in class as needed. And finally, this is not a therapy session or a therapy class. That being said, some topics may trigger emotions or memories for you based upon your own past experiences. This is normal and is usually easily managed. Most people are able to experience those emotions and keep on with life as always. However, if at any point you feel overwhelmed, please remember that we have personal counselors available to all of our students at no charge. If you live outside the area, we can also help you find someone closer to where you live if you need to talk to someone or process a previous loss. In order to participate and be successful in this class, you'll need to make sure you have the appropriate resources. We have 2 required texts for this class, both very small books. The first is called Final Gifts by Callanan and Kenny. You see it there at the top, and Kelly, excuse me. And the one below it is called Keys to Helping Children Deal with Death and Grief by Joy Johnson. Now, if you order your book and it doesn't look exactly like the blue one, don't panic. This is just a new edition. The last one was black and had some pictures of children on the front. It's still the same book. So either way, you got the right one. We also have some additional short readings that are posted in some of the unit overviews. So in those assigned weeks, you'll be able to access the articles from the course directly rather than having to purchase them. We'll also have some fun little video clips woven in as well. As you look at the syllabus and class calendar, you'll see some exploration activities within the community where you live. The 2 main ones involve tours of a local mortuary or funeral home and a tour of a cemetery. I will set up a tour at the start of our semester and will let everyone know in advance so you can make arrangements with your work or family obligations. I would love to have all of you join us on this group tour if possible, as it allows you to see firsthand how things work, and you're also able to benefit from the questions and comments that other people make as well. That being said, if you live outside the Omaha area or you're not able to attend on the prearranged date, you'll need to set up your own tour of both a mortuary and a cemetery. If you fall into this category, just be sure to reach out to let me know right away, and I'll be able to help you make those arrangements. Finally, your main project for this class will end up being a valuable resource that you can keep and share with your own family. The Life Planning Portfolio will be a culmination of many things we learn about and work on this semester, and will be a useful tool for you in the future. In this last part of lecture, I want to take a few minutes to review class documents and important policy information. For starters, be sure that you take time to review both the class calendar and the course syllabus. These provide you with essential details to be successful in the class. You'll find the syllabus under the Syllabus tab in Canvas, and the class calendar is under that opening module for Course Home. You can easily download it and print it off. Do be sure that you read through both of these documents carefully. You need to be aware of the policies, including late policies, as each assignment is a little bit different. You'll also notice that I haven't locked the weeks in Canvas, thereby allowing you to look and work ahead. You're all adults balancing multiple responsibilities, so I hope this helps you be able to plan ahead and keep up. As you saw in the syllabus, these are the key components to our class. Indeed, these will be our primary learning tools and ways through which we'll be building our own sense of community through the class. As each assignment comes due, you'll find specific directions in Canvas. Be sure to carefully read and follow the directions, and definitely read and follow the rubric so that you don't miss any unnecessary points. I'll post more detailed information about the different exploration activities so you can be looking and working ahead. Also, I took out all the quizzes and exams. Instead, you'll be submitting your handwritten lecture notes. My hope is that students are taking notes while they're watching lectures anyway, so I figured this would be a nice way to make sure everyone's participating and keeping up without having overly difficult quizzes for you to stress about. I've even provided you with the PowerPoint files that you can download and print with either 2 or 3 slides per page. In addition to the fill in the blanks you'll need to add your own thoughts and ideas, your reactions, your questions, your overall connections that you're making in the notes and the margins, then scan and submit as a PDF each week we have new lectures. Since we don't have a lot of reading in this class, these lectures and the experiential activities will both be important parts of your learning. As mentioned, we have a number of support resources available to you. You can certainly talk with me. You can set up a visit with the personal counselors here at Clarkson, either in person or over Zoom, or you can talk with someone in your own personal support network. You might never need to use these resources, but I want to be sure that you have them available if need be. Please refer back to our course syllabus for specific phone numbers and emails if needed. As we wrap up our introductory lecture, let's conclude with this quote by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. She said, "Is our concentration on equipment, on blood pressure, our desperate attempt to deny the impending death, which is so frightening and discomforting to us that we displace all our knowledge onto machines, since they are less close to us than the suffering face of another human being, which would remind us once more of our lack of omnipotence, of our own limits and failures, and last but not least, perhaps our own mortality?" Rather than falling into this same trap and avoiding the end-of-life issues which are so critical, let us instead learn, understand, and embrace these opportunities to create a lasting positive experience for our dying patients and their families. Thank you for joining us this semester in class. I can tell you I already appreciate your commitment to exploring such an important topic, and I commend you for wanting to learn how to provide excellent care for your patients at the end of their life. I know the topic sounds a bit heavy, but I promise we're going to have a great time as we learn and share with one another. On a final note, if you have any questions after watching this introduction or reading over the course documents, please reach out and let me know. Thank you, everyone, and I look forward to a great semester together.